Did you know that less than 10% of the world's oceans have been discovered? Most of the deep sea still remains a mystery till this day. Divers try and explore it more and more each day, and they sometimes stumble upon some interesting and mysterious things. Whether that is a newly discovered species or an ancient ship thousands of years old, or maybe some unexplained out-of-this-world thing. Well, continue watching, cause here are the amazing things discovered lying on the seafloor. Number 13. The Nippo Maru. The Nippo Maru ship was built as a transport and cargo ship. When the Japanese Navy took it over, they mainly used it for transport for fresh water. After she was sunk by the US dive bombers, this ship now lies at the bottom of the sea within Truk Lagoon. What is amazing about it is when you dive to see it, you can notice it has a military tank that sits on the port side of the ship and a bunch of gas masks laying around. It was discovered in 1980, considering it was bombed and sunk in 1945. It remains to be one of the most beautiful shipwrecks to this day, or as people like to call it, the $1 million shipwreck. Number 12. Ancient computer. Did you think that you knew what a first computer looked like? Well, think again. The Antikythera mechanism, or the ancient computer, was found at the bottom of the sea in the coast of the Greek island Antikythera. What is special about this thing is the fact that scientists said that it was 2,000 years old. They weren't sure what it was at first, but after a few researches, they discovered it was some kind of machine that resembled an analog computer. Thanks to X-ray, they solved the puzzle and discovered that it was used as a calendar and a computer mapping the solar and lunar calendars. It can even track planets and eclipses and the schedule to the Olympics. Number 11. Lion City. At the bottom of Qidao Lake, China, lies the civilization of Xichang, also known as Lion City. It is believed that this city was built in the Tang Dynasty, making it nearly 1,400 years old. The city lays undisturbed at the bottom of the lake, with clear structures appearing from the dark as you approach with your light. All of the carvings, guardian lions, and arches are still preserved, and as of 2011, it was declared a historic relic. What is interesting about this city is the fact that it is believed that the city was sunk on purpose. Although we can't be sure if that's on purpose or not, we do know that it is an extraordinary thing to see, buried deep underwater. Number 10. The MS Zenobia Ferry. The Swedish-built ferry capsized and sank near Cyprus, and till this day is resting underwater near the port. It makes a perfect diving experience for all of you that like to explore the sea. This ferry launched in 1979, but unfortunately it sank just 1 year after it was launched. Now it presents one of the top 10 best recreational dive sites worldwide. People adore going there and exploring the ferry all on their own. The Zenobia even provides a wide range of challenges to scuba divers. The 10,000-ton ferry is a true attraction and is definitely an extraordinary thing to see a ferry lying on the bottom of the sea. But if you like diving, this would be a great adventure for you. Number 9. The engines of the Apollo 11 mission. In 1969, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon and made history. During that time, a lot of Apollo rockets were fired and sent to the orbit of the moon and Earth, and their engines are believed to have landed at the bottom of the ocean. After 43 years of landing on the moon, the engine of the Apollo 11 mission was found off the coast of Florida, about 14,000 feet underwater. Only a year later, for the 44th anniversary of the moon landing, Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, announced that he will recover the engine from the sea, and he successfully did it. It took nearly 2 years of renovation, and the engine is not at display at Seattle's The Museum of Flight. Number 8. Ghost Fleet of Truk Lagoon. The famous diving site is filled with hundreds of wrecks from World War II. During World War II, the lagoon was a host to Japanese Imperial Fleet, which was destroyed in Operation Hailstone. Today, this lagoon is home to hundreds of Japanese aircraft and military machines, making it the world's best World War II wreck dive site. They cover a massive amount of area, and divers just can't wait to go and explore everything about them. However, the wrecks can be very dangerous, not only for the rigid edges and the tangled cables, but for the half-century-old oil and fuel leak that can make it into a potentially dangerous situation. Number 7. Ancient shipwreck. Also known as the sweepstakes, the two-master wooden schooners lay no deeper than 15 feet into the water. What makes these ships interesting is the fact that you can see them through the water. Made in 1867, they were damaged off Cove Island in 1985. They suffered great damage that could not be repaired and caused them to sink. Each of them being over 100 years old, it is a true attraction to any adventurous that likes to explore underwater wrecks. They are easily accessible, but unfortunately the access into the schooners is not allowed anymore, so it can prevent further damage to the schooners that can be caused by the exhaled bubbles from the divers. Number 6. Underwater River. If you want to experience a dive like no other, then get ready and visit the Cenote Angelita Cave in Mexico. The thing that makes it unusual is the river that flows deep underwater. If you're confused, don't worry. It's not an actual river, it's more of an optical illusion that makes it look like there's an actual river. The illusion is created when limestone bedrock collapses, it sinks and forms a pit, where the pit fills with fresh groundwater and salt water. When the organic matter ends up in the trench, it produces halocene that separates the fresh water from the salt water, creating an incredible illusion of a river underwater. Number 5. The Ice Finger of Death. What this ice finger of death presents is a brinnacle, or a downward growing hollow tube of ice. This phenomenon only occurs in specific conditions in the polar regions while floating blocks of sea ice. These brinnacles were first discovered in 1960s and are formed when sea ice cracks leak saline water, causing it to sink to the floor and freeze on its way. If you are wondering why it's called the ice finger of death, that is because as soon as the brinnacle touches the seafloor, it catches any bottom-dwelling creatures it comes in contact with, such as sea urchins and starfish, and freezes them. Number 4. The Yonaguni Monument. This submerged rock formation located off the coast of Yonaguni was first discovered by divers back in 1985. It sparked a huge debate among scientists. One marine geologist believes that the formations are ruins of the Japanese Atlantis, sunk by an earthquake over 2,000 years old, but not all of the scientists believe it's man-made. Some have other beliefs and further research where they think some of the formations are formed by natural processes. While they can't give the right answer, this formation will continue to stay a mystery. However, besides the disagreements among scientists, this place has become a popular diving location despite the strong currents. Number 3. Giant Crucifix. We feel like by now we've seen everything that can be found on the seafloor, but have you heard about a giant crucifix? Located in the Michigan Lake at about 20 feet underwater, there was a large Italian-made marble crucifix. It was an 11-foot white marble cross with a statue of a crucified Jesus Christ. It is believed that the whole thing was crafted in 1956 in Italy, weighing almost a ton. Since it was discovered, the president of the diving club hosts an annual viewing of the statue where they cut a hole in the ice and divers can go in and view the statue. The last viewing of the statue was in 2019, which attracted 1,200 curious onlookers. Number 2. Roman Ruins. If you ever wanted to see what a Roman city would look like with your own eyes, well, you can. You just need to dive underwater. Located on the seafloor off the coast of Naples, Italy, is the Roman city of Baja. Baja was created for the rich and powerful of the Roman Empire. Unfortunately, this city was sacked by the Muslim army and was abandoned. After the remains were emptied, the water level rose and filled the city, and became what we now know as a city underwater. Today you can visit the remains of Baja and take a tour of the world's few underwater archaeological parks. Admire the extraordinary statues in the crumbled structures through glass-bottomed boats or snorkeling. Number 1. Silfra Crack. Located in Thingvelvatten Lake in Ireland, this crack divides a line between Europe and America. It presents a huge literal crack in the Earth's surface located in the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean. What makes this crack so popular is the amazing visibility and accessibility. Divers can just float there in between Europe and America. The crystal clear water will make you want to jump right in, but keep in mind that the reason why the water is so clear is because it's so cold, from -2 degrees to 4 degrees, and it remains this temperature all year round. Even though a lot of people have dived into the Seafloor crack, only a few people were brave enough to go deep into the Seafloor cave, which is 63 meters deep. On a related note, we wanted to know, have you heard of any of these amazing discoveries? Let us know in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hit the bell icon. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.